Okay, good afternoon. It is January 3rd, and I wanted to do a video because I talk about something about the targeted program that nobody's touched on. That is I think the most important part of why we're put on this list. It has to do with our bloodline. And so yeah, so just last night I uploaded some videos, and I was just out, at just a local, shopping area, and all of a sudden 3 state police come up, and then a fire truck. What's a fire truck just doing sitting in a shopping mall parking lot, just sitting there, stalking me? I mean, they're just openly, completely out of control stalking me. And then there's also people illegally getting their cars towed right now, like they're targeting. And I had this happen when they falsely arrested me several times. I always had my car towed, and that was, and even though it wasn't parked in illegal places, like in Idaho when I got illegally arrested in Bingham, Idaho, I was parked on a street. I was pulled over on a street, or yeah, I mean, it wasn't even illegally parked, and they towed it anyways. It's all about a money-making scam for these Masons. Okay, yeah, I mean, the Masons are the main part of the targeting. They use the Masonic police and the Mason tow truck companies. There's one that goes by here all the time, Frankie's Towing. And then when I was at my friend John's in Richfield, there was a bunch of tow trucks going by. These are Mason-owned tow truck companies, and I believe they're illegally targeting like Patriots and stuff right now, because I've been seeing a lot of tow truck companies going on around here, and I believe that they're targeting people like myself, that have YouTube channels or podcasts that are Trump supporters. I believe that's what they're doing, and they're trying to And I believe that every single person that was arrested on that January 6th incident, like 1,500 of them, I believe they all just need to be pardoned, because, the reason why it doesn't make any sense is, well, I showed the footage, and you see them just walking through calmly, and the door, and they were, the Capitol Police had the door wide open. In fact, they followed him through, walking with him. So, I mean, I'm sorry, why aren't the Capitol Police in the same jail? Okay, and second of all, there was like 1,500 people arrested, like the very next day. And the only way you could, track that many people is if you were already illegally surveilling all of us Trump supporters. Okay, that I didn't get a good feeling about going there, so I didn't go, because I had a feeling that it would, I'm already so targeted, and then you got all of us targeted people there together. I had a feeling something was going to happen, because I'm so used to the way they operate now, because they've been after me for so long. Oh, whoops. Okay, so let me plug in my computer really quick, and then I got something else I have to share. Okay, so, but the main reason why we are targeted is because of our bloodline. So, I actually learned about this M symbol by watching Scott Wolter's America Unearthed, and then and I saw that movie years ago, the Da Vinci Code, how they touched on that there was a bloodline, a Jesus and Mary Magdalene bloodline, but we were never taught this in church, and we were never told the real story, and then I've been told that it has to do with my bloodline. I've been told that it has to do with, I'm in the King David bloodline. Well, my last name is Davis. I mean, maybe not every person that has the last name Davis. I know it's a very, common name, but I know my bloodline goes all the way to King David. because I was a fourth cousin of Jamie Nelson, and her when she got her DNA, it went like all the way back to King David, and I was a fourth cousin of hers, and that's what another targeted person that I met in Idaho, and but then when I sent my DNA in, it wasn't as detailed, like Ancestry.com doesn't do that. I didn't get the same detailed report for some reason that she did. I think they were, I think they didn't like us realizing that because we did a video on it, and then all of a sudden, like, Ancestry.com stopped doing the details like that. So anyway, but there's there's all this symbology that regards to Mary Magdalene, and I believe that there was a family between Jesus and Mary Magdalene. So so what Scott Walters was pointing out was the M symbols. Okay, the M symbols in a lot of the holy paintings, like that's the Last Supper. There's the M symbol. That's Jesus and Mary Magdalene. She was she was the only female disciple, right? Okay, that's the Last Supper. Then, like in her, there's all kinds of pictures. So it's M. She's called Saint Mary. You know, and there's always the M symbol there. Okay, and then. So here's Saint Mary. She had a Saint Mary church in France. Okay, so when all the disciples were being persecuted, Mary fled to France, the south of France. And there was a church, and there's some kind of a museum in regards to her. Okay, and then the symbology. So yeah, and here's more symbols about the in the Last Supper, like Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. They're making the triangle there, you know. But then the Illuminati, you know, they twist everything around with the pyramid, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, they spin it the other way, you know. But so anyway, what he was pointing out in his video on America on Earth is that all the symbols of the Statue of Liberty have the M. Okay, right here. I didn't get a really big picture of it, but okay, right here. On this side where she has the book in her hand, she's making this M sign. Okay, she's making this M sign. Okay, right here. And say, okay, so I believe that the Statue of Liberty is actually a symbol of Mary Magdalene. And it does actually represent liberty and justice, because that's what she represents. Okay, here's Ronald Reagan speaking in New York in front of the Statue of Liberty. But there's and there's another one in France. Okay, so once again, she's making the M symbol. Okay, she's making the M symbol when she's holding the book there, and it always stands for liberty. Okay, so she fled to the south of France and had a church there. So there's reason why. And the Statue of Liberty over in New York here was gifted to us from France. Okay? This symbol symbolizes Mary Magdalene. Okay? And this is the people in this bloodline of Jesus and Mary Magdalene are most definitely on this targeted list by these Masons. And that's why I call them out all the time, because I know why you're after me, and it's illegal. It's religious persecution, and I have to expose you, because that's what you're doing. It has nothing to do with me with being a whistleblower. It's more has to do, well, yeah, it has to do with me being a whistleblower, but also because of my bloodline. So, and then there's another Statue of Liberty in Portugal. Okay, in Portugal. So that's in Portugal, and they all have the M symbol. They all have the M symbol. And this is, this is like kind of a side view of it, where it's in Portugal, and it's honoring the World War I veterans. Okay, that's okay, and then so I'm seeing these different videos about like the M symbol on your hands, and I have the M symbol on my hands. So I have these lines that go right here. Like I put it. I don't know if you can see it, but in my hands, I have the M symbol. I have it. It's right in the lines of my hands. It follows the lines of my hands. So I don't know. You can see it better on this side. Yeah, like it follows the exact lines of my hand here, right here, and then there, and there. Okay, I just wrote in. But yeah, I have this, and so that's just another sign to me that I'm in this bloodline, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm targeted. And so this is religious persecution, like as in the days of Jesus, is that we are being religiously persecuted by these Masons, and I'm calling you out on this. And then I found this book. It's called El Greco Hand Sign. So what they're making, on the Statue of Liberty, this is the sign. This is the sign. It's what it secretly symbolizes was Mary and the Holy Bloodline. Okay, it's called the El Greco symbol, and so this is, you can look this up, and so here she is making the hand sign, Mary Magdalene. She's making that hand sign. Okay. So if you look at the Statue of Liberty, you'll see her making the hand sign. The Statue of Liberty, there's been different rumors over the years, like it represents the Whore of Babylon. You know, these are some of the deep state trying to make you think. No, the symbol of the Statue of Liberty was gifted to America from France, and it symbolizes freedom and justice, and it stands for Mary Magdalene, the Holy Bloodline. Okay, all right, Masons? So we know your little secrets. Okay, here's the hand signs. It represents Mary Magdalene. It does not represent the Whore of Babylon. Okay, Christ carrying the cross. Here's the M symbol. There. This is it's called the Virgin Goddess Worship. There's a symbologies here in this little book. So, and then there's pictures in the book called the Holy Family that was painted in 1595. So why did they paint this picture called the Holy Family if Jesus and Mary Magdalene didn't have a bloodline? This is a picture from 1595, and then okay, and then there's another picture here from 1500s. Okay, then for years these religious people have never taught us the truth about this, and have tried to cover up our real history of this. Okay, this is these are painted in the 1500s by Spanish saints who lived between circa 607 and 667 AD. He was a scholar and a theologian. So these were scholars and theologians that were painting these people in Spain and in France. Saint Francis. Okay, that's probably from France, because that's where her church was. She fled to the south of France. Okay, and All right, so yeah, a noble man with a hand on his chest. You know how the Masons have their secret society? Well, what I was told is that the Knights of Templar were actually, a secret society too, but it was like they were part of the Mary Magdalene secrets, and then but then the Freemasons, they were like all together at once, and then the Freemasons, I guess, my understanding is that the Freemasons um, killed the Knights Templars, or they were part of having them killed, and then they stole all the relics and stuff because they were part protecting the relics. Okay, I got this dumb thing that popped up here. They don't want me talking about this. Okay, so I got this dumb virus protection thing that just popped up on my computer. They don't like me talking about this, but I don't really know the real story of exactly what happened there. But my understanding is that the Knights Templars were the original people who to protect the relics, and then the Masons somehow were involved in their deaths, and they had them killed and got the relics and all the stuff that was holy and protected at the time. And my understanding is that they've been infiltrated, tried to pretend like they're good guys, but they're the bad guys. Okay, so here's the real story of this stuff, and you can look this stuff up yourself. I can't get this dumb thing off my computer. Okay, there we go. This McAfee thing pops up, this virus, and then it blocks out, so I can't talk. See, this is what they do. So they don't want me telling you about this type of thing. I don't really know the real history. I don't, because I'm not in a secret society. But I just, you can look this stuff up for yourself. You can look at the symbol on the Statue of Liberty. You can see that she's making this hand sign. I didn't have a very good pictures that showed up, but see on my phone, you can see if I can get a better, closer picture of Statue of Liberty or making that hand sign. So it's not the Whore of Babylon. It stands for Mary Magdalene, and it does stand for liberty and justice over here, like America should stand for. Yeah, that's what we've stood for. That's what we stand for here, and that's what it represents. Okay, so yeah, she's married. So if you can get like a closer look at her hand here, she's making the symbol. So you can look this stuff up yourself. I believe that, I know this is one of the main reasons why I'm targeted. Well, first of all, I've said, I've been pulled over so many times that I have a massive police harassment issue here, and that I this is like a huge lawsuit here with what's going on in Hennepin County. We have so much corruption here in the courts and in the police and everything that it's I consider it an emergency. I consider it a state of emergency. What's going on in our cities, in here in Hennepin County, I consider it an emergency. I've never seen anybody so persecuted in all my life. Over 30 times I've been pulled over since I became a whistleblower. And it's like they don't even. It's like when they pull me over, they act like they're robots or something. They act like they're just taking orders. They don't even know what they're doing or something. And I don't care that I'm a veteran. They don't care that I'm an honorable veteran. But it's more than that. It's my bloodline. So I wanted to point this out. You can do your own research. You can look into this El Greco hand sign. And this was like the secret hand sign that was made, and they were of the people that knew that there was this holy bloodline. Okay, and the Catholic Church has been trying to cover this up from us knowing the truth about this. No, I have the book, The Da Vinci Code. I'm gonna read through this, but there's that movie that was touching on it years ago, and then they're like, and I was intrigued by that movie, and I was like, is that real? Is there really a bloodline? But then they made you think that that's all fiction. But no, it wasn't fiction. There is a bloodline, and that is why a lot of us are on this targeted list. So this is religious persecution, what the Masons are doing to me. and others. So it's like as in the days of the disciples. Okay, so you have to understand what we're dealing with is a spiritual persecution, and all over the world by these Masons who've infiltrated the Templars, the original protectors, and I believe that's what's happened. I don't have any proof, but I mean they were the Knights Templars were all killed in 1307, Friday the 13th, 1307. And so that's why it's like Friday the 13th is considered this ominous day or whatever, like a bad day. Well, that's because why would Friday the 13th be even some kind of significant symbolization of some kind of ominous day if there wasn't something very significant that happened on that day? And what happened is the original Templars were murdered, and they were the original protectors of the religious relics, and that is when it got handed over to the Masons, who I believe work with the Illuminati. Otherwise, why would they have all these movies like Friday the 13th with and stuff like that, like Jason and stuff like that? I mean, it's just like, where did that come from? It came from this story. Okay, so clearly there's something to it, and and they don't want us to know. So so I'm calling you out, and you're religiously persecuting me, and others, and I'm calling you out because what it is illegal religious persecution, and we don't you don't have authority to do that in America. You don't have authority to do that here. We don't have a law. We're not like, we don't have Sharia law or anything like that over here. So what you're doing is 100% illegal to me. Okay, 100% illegal. We have freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Okay, let's talk about that. What is my freedom of religion? I have the right over here in America to freedom of religion in America. Okay, we don't have to be under in a basement worshiping Jesus here, right? So why are you religiously persecuting me, Masons? Freedom of religion. Yeah, that's what's going on. Okay. First Amendment right. It's my First Amendment right. Respecting an establishment religion. Free exercise. Abridging the freedom of speech or press, the right of people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. I have the right under the First Amendment for freedom of speech and free exercise of religion. Okay? So what the police are doing are illegally persecuting me because of my M symbol of my bloodline. You understand? So that's another thing I have on you. Not only do I have all kinds of racketeering, police harassment, fraud. I mean, the courts here are so fraudulent. Like, I mean, fraud. You're frauding me. All kinds of fraudulent charges you put on me. Then now we got religious persecution on top of it. Okay, so that's another thing I got on you. Okay, so they need to stay away from me because I know the law and you clearly don't. Like they have like no idea what the law is. When the police pulled me over and I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm not doing anything illegal, and they just go on with it anyways. Like the one time in Texas when I had just dropped somebody off in Uvalde, Texas. I had just driven and dropped somebody off that was at this trailer park. They just paid me money and I dropped them off. And I was just in a public parking lot, like just there for like 5 minutes, and I was just about to turn around and drive back. I just didn't know, exactly where I was. And they come in me and they said, "Well, you can't park here." And I was like, I was there for like 3 minutes. It's not illegal. There wasn't a sign that said private parking. It was a public parking lot. Like, you're the ones who don't know the law. You're the ones who have no idea what the law is. You're not lawyers, and so you have to call these police out on the law because they don't even know the law. And then they put you in all kinds of they cause you all kinds of money and harassment, tow your car and all this stuff. And I've never to this day been paid back a dime by any of these illegal arrests. The one in Texas, the one in Idaho, and it was like 4 different times, and every time I had to bail myself out, and it was like $1,000 each time. Okay, it's totally 100% illegal what you're doing to me. Okay, and so I just want people to be aware of this other part of the targeting program.